Hey y'all, Matt Davis here at Main Street Crossing. I'm hanging out with Mary Sarah. For those of you guys who've never been here before, Main Street Crossing is a really cool, intimate music venue, about 160 seats here in Tomball, Texas, right in Old Town Tomball. We do all kinds of cool music. We bring in everything from cool local tribute bands all the way up to country legends and the greatest in blues, all kinds of stuff. And tonight we have Mary Sarah here, so we hope that you'll come see us. What I like to tell people at the beginning of the video what this place is, because you're going to share this with your fans, and a lot of them won't know us, and we're sharing this with all our fans, and maybe one or two of them don't know who you are yet.
I'm a magician. Just kidding.
That's right.
I'm actually the magician. I'm the act in between the bands that play. I'm totally kidding with you
guys. We've actually thought about.
Have you thought about it?
I've thought about. Well, not being a magician personally, but like...
Because that's a hard life to live, because what you have to do is like keep the secrets.
It's hard to keep secrets.
Mm-hmm.
No, but we've thought about, as we were always wanting to expand here. When we started, we were doing 1 or 2 shows a week, and now it's up to like 5, and so sometimes we get inquiries from magicians or comedians, and it's we haven't really done a lot of it.
A little bit.
The most interesting one I ever got was... Small People Wrestling asked if they could have
they've got probably a following.
They might. It just seemed like it might be.
It depends on what venue you want to be.
I'm not against that or anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a magician.
Okay, so tell us who you are.
I'm a musician, an artist. I actually grew up not too far from here in Richmond, Texas. Went to high school at Foster High School. But I'm in music, yes, I'm an artist. I write songs, I play guitar, I perform, I'm an entertainer. I just recently, some of you might know me from the show The Voice. I was on season 10. Team Blake, hashtag Team Blake. And then I am going to Vegas here soon with The Voice to do a residency out there too. So you guys might have seen that before. But yeah, that's who I am. It's me.
There's probably a lot more to you than that, but that's
it's a big part of who I am, though. It's definitely like, especially at this age, it's my life.
Sure. Well, since you already brought it up, The Voice is a really cool show, so I'll ask you a little bit about that. The Voice is really cool. Now, one of the things that look at that, look at that, she's showing it
live right now.
You guys tune in. And by the way, if you don't know this, if you can type in comments or questions, and me and Mary Sarah can see them right there in real time, and we can answer if we want to. So we encourage you to do that.
I just posted on my Facebook, so let's see.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to the
Sorry, I cut you off there.
We'll cut each other off a lot. I'm gonna cut you off a lot too. No, The Voice is a really cool show, and one of the things that I really liked about it, I never got into American Idol, and that came out first, and
I was
a
big American Idol.
Well, it was a cool concept, but one of the things that bothered me sometimes about American Idol, sorry all you American Idol people out there, there is a lot of focus, especially in the early episodes. There's a lot of focus on really kind of exploiting people who are not good. And people enjoy. It does have
an aspect,
And so there's also a negative aspect, and one of the cool things when The Voice came out, and I think I watched season 2 was the first time I tuned into The Voice, and I was like, everybody's good. I mean, really, like that whole thing is all crazy. Positive. Every audition,
there's whole experience there too, because you're an artist there, but you're surrounded by so many talented people, and you're like, what am I doing here? What? Oh my God, did you hear their voice? Did you hear, then to find that, everybody had their own unique sound was really cool, too. I mean, that was the thing about The Voice that really I adored. I mean, I watched American Idol, and I was a huge fan. I went to, the first American Idol tours, and, saw Carrie Underwood, and,
all right.
I was, a big fan and everything, but I was also, kind of young, so I didn't really think about the aspect of exploiting, in a way of artists and things like that. And so, but when The Voice came along, I had friends do it before and just talked about how they loved the experience. And I, just as much, I loved it. I mean, the whole crew there, whether it's, the tech guy behind the scenes, your vocal coach that you have, everyone is looking out for your best interest. And it's really cool. It's a really, really good show.
So when your first performance on The Voice, at least the first audition, I don't know if you do other stuff before this, because we don't know all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Well, you know all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But,
I know the secrets,
right,
but I'm a magician, so I can't say it.
Yes, you can't tell. But the first time that America saw you come out and do your audition, like, was it terrifying?
You know, yeah, because you don't know you don't know how people are going to react, especially because, I mean, especially with the first couple rounds, they're not quite live yet, so we've, like, done a bunch of it, and so we've kind of been waiting and keeping it a secret from, like, everybody, like, even, like, my aunt and uncle, and, like, you know, I had to really keep it on the down low and everything, so I had done it and everything, and just had done, you know, the in-room experience of, like, the blind audition and stuff, but we had to wait out, like, a couple of months, especially in our season, which is the winter season, like, fall season time, and yeah, it's a little like, are people gonna like it? I don't know. And you know, you kind of think, was the song good enough? I mean, you get excited though.
Is it scary with the? I guess they're kind of judges with the coach. I guess they call them coaches or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, to walk out and be like, all right, I'm gonna lay it all on the line here for, you know, Blake Shelton, and who are the coaches?
Blake Shelton. It was Christina Aguilera. It was her last season. It was Pharrell and Adam Levine.
Mm-hmm. Talk about some people that have accomplished some things.
Believe me. You know what though? What my mind wasn't necessarily on that. It was on, let me just get out there and do the best I can. You know what I mean? So my brain really was thinking about, you know, and especially on this one part of the song, I did Where the Boys Are for my blind audition, and there was one part of the song, which is so crazy, and this is where I learned to trust my intuition more from the beginning, was the vocal coach. I had sang Where the Boys Are, like, my entire life, and I already had this, like, stuck in my way, like, way of doing it, you know? I'd done it, and that was it. Like, that was how it was going to be, and, you know, she just kind of was like, what if you change up the end here a little bit? What if you add a little bit of a high note? And I don't know why, but that threw me in a loop. I was like, do I change it? Do I not? Like, it's good as is, you know?
It's
like,
hard to change something that you've been singing that way for a long time. Yeah. I've done that on a couple of the records that I've produced in the studio. Yeah. When you have somebody come in and you hear something in a song that you're like, man, like this, you know, even just like the, you know, where you put the emphasis on a syllable or the timing of a line. And when you tell somebody, and they've been playing the song for a year and a half in their garage or on stage, and then you say, like, it would really be better, this? And it throws everything off for a while. And we had a question for you. I wanted to see. Let's see. What's up, Jeff Paul, watching in? Jeff Paul is a great music fan, one of the best in the world. He's from around here. So Drew Hollis from Austin, Texas. Yeah. He said is asking if Blake Shelton is as cool as he is on TV.
Really want to be his best friend.
His
friend.
Hashtag really want to be his friend. So
that's funny.
You have to answer that, or you don't have to.
No, I mean I will. He is, yeah. 100%.
Look, we got Marvin from Illinois tuning in.
From Illinois.
Joel Robinson. Hashtag old school country. Okay, so is Blake Shelton that cool?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, he lives up to what you expect. No joke. Like, he's so southern and country, and like, sometimes the jokes he would make, I'd be like, did he just say that? Like, you know, you think, like, Blake Shelton, you think kind of crazy country, like, you know, he's raised in Oklahoma, like...
Is that where he's from? I didn't know where he's from.
Yeah, he's raised in Oklahoma, like, still has a place there. Still, he's a country boy, like, through and through, and I don't think you can ever get rid of that in him, like, no matter what happens. And so, I mean, it was an awesome time. He was funny.
With the first time when I started, I told you I watched The Voice in season 2, and I thought when the show, it was funny how a viewer's relationship with the coaches goes watching the season. Like, I've seen other episodes throughout, but in season 2, like, I watched all of it, like every episode, you know. And it's like when it first started on the very first one, I was sort of like, man, I'm not really a CeeLo fan, and I'm not really a Blake Shelton fan, and by the end I was like, CeeLo and Blake Shelton are my favorite.
That's
like
amazing.
By the end, like like watching them, and when you started to see, like I remember seeing CeeLo, how much he cared about the artists on his team, and I could like really tell that there was really something deep in his heart there, and it wasn't shallow.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with him by the end. And
Oh, for sure. No, I feel like a lot of people with shows like The Voice, they don't really give the whole entire show like a chance. Like, I remember when I did, like in the beginning, I think on The Voice, I really just loved watching the blind auditions, and then I'd be like,
right.
you know, I'd stop watching it after a while. But you know, it's definitely something that, like, the show is meant to entertain and, you know, and show you that relationship, you know, and I think it's a really cool aspect of the whole thing is how you get to work with someone of that caliber, you know.
So who else did you get to meet? Because they do the things where
we have
know,
the advisors.
Yeah,
and
you have
stuff
the
like
advisor,
that.
and all of a sudden, some other famous artist walks in the room that you're not expecting.
We had Gwen Stefani and Miley Cyrus.
All right.
Yeah.
On.
So it was right before. It was a season before Miley decided to become a coach. So we had her as an advisor, and I wonder if they were just like testing her out to make sure it was like good. I'm not too sure, but I loved her. A lot of people, and what's funny is she was not supposed to announce being an advisor, but she did. She like Instagrammed it, and because we weren't supposed to know, we were supposed to walk into the room, not know who it was, and be like, "Oh, Miley Cyrus." But she Instagrammed like 2 days beforehand.
So you all knew.
So we knew, okay? And all of us, I mean, I feel like it was probably like 50-50 on it. Ooh, I don't know what is she gonna be a good coach? Is she gonna be bad? You know, I'm like, you know what? She was, you know, raised in Tennessee and like, girl
Right.
knows her country, but also knows her pop. Like, I'm like, she's a great choice for a super, like, a advisor. And, no, she ended up being amazing for all of us. Everybody at the end of it was like, dang, she exceeded our expectations, you know? So and I've heard only great things about her being a coach, because I was able to host on season 11, which is season after me, for Cole's Green Room, and so I got to meet her again and talk with her a little bit, and just heard great things from people who are on our team and stuff, so.
All right, so the last thing about that show, and then we're going to talk about other stuff.
Joel, I'm here in Texas right now. We're in Tomball.
We're in Tomball, Texas, Joel.
Yeah, where are you at?
Look at that. Somebody.
This is from Brazil.
Angelico.
Angelica.
Angelica. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Hey,
Angelica.
Mary
I'm
Sarah,
glad
when
you're
will
tuned
be
in.
coming to Kentucky in the concert. Love you, Mary Sarah. Well, I'm not coming to Kentucky anytime soon, but just keep watch on my website, and if you have the app called Bands in Town, I post all of my dates there. But I will be in Vegas soon, so that'll be a year of my life where I'll do 8 shows a week in Vegas. So
8 shows a week, gosh.
Yeah.
All right, last thing about The Voice,
Yeah.
and then we'll move on.
no,
from that.
no, you're good.
I don't want to just talk about The Voice, but I want to know this, like, okay, after doing that, you know, people. Okay, I'm going to pause that for a brief moment. Okay,
Yeah.
I auditioned for a show once. All right,
Did you?
I did, and I didn't make it. All right, but and it was for. I always, when I was younger, I said, I don't think I'll ever, you know, go try to do one of those shows. And then I was 28 or 29, and I had this folk duo, me and another guy named Colby Miller. Colby is a super talented, great guy. And we decided, like, man, America's Got Talent is coming to Houston. Like, why not?
Oh, my
Let's
gosh.
go do it. Let's go do it. So we drive down. It was at something next to Reliant Stadium, whatever that Reliant
Oh, the
Arena
Dome?
or no, it was on the same campus. It's
Oh,
like where they
okay,
do
okay,
big
okay.
conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
And you go sit in line starting at like 8:30 in the morning. It's Saturday morning, drive downtown. There's no chairs or anything, you know, and we wait in line all day long. I mean, all day, like till 4. You're just sitting in line. Like, the only food there is a Starbucks. And
I mean,
nothing against Starbucks, but like, I mean, you can't like. And back then, by the way, this is a long time ago, they didn't have that much food to choose from. They have a little bit more now. We sat there all day, and I've been playing music professionally on and off for a while, and so I don't get a big rise out of sitting in line with musicians and wanting to play songs for people. But that was like probably the most annoying part of it, is you're all sitting in line, and everybody's getting their guitars out all day long,
all day.
listening to people.
They're like going over it.
And they play the same songs more than once, and you're just sitting there like, please. So we get into the room. It's not at all like on TV. There's 10 acts lined up in a row, and they say, you guys are going to come up one at a time. Just step forward 2 steps, and you play a song, and then when we're done, then we'll say you can step back. So there's 10 acts. We're like 7 in our group. Finally, it's like 4 o'clock, and we played before Darius Rucker cut it. We did the song "Wagon Wheel," and we
by Old Crow Medicine Show.
Yes, by Old Crow Medicine Show, we
smart choice.
well, but it wasn't popular yet. So,
Yeah.
and we had really tight harmonies in that song. We would sing harmonies all the way through the songs. Like that was what he and I did. It was like we'd sing the whole song with harmonies, and we nailed it. It was great. And then at the end, then they said, "All right, all you guys, you can go out and pack up your guitars and wait about 2 minutes. And then if we're interested in any of y'all, then we'll call you back in. If you don't hear anything in 2 minutes, then you can leave." And so we go out, all the
2
10
minutes exactly.
Yeah, so we packing up our guitars. About 90 seconds later, we were called the Hopeless Pomantics, by the way. That was our band name. And we're just a duo. They open the door and they're like, "Hopeless Pomantics, can you come back in?" And we're like, "Sweet, nailed it, knew it." And we come in and they're like, "That was really good. We'd like to hear something that we know. We've never heard that song before. Can you guys play any songs that we know?" And we were like, not really. That's not really what we do." And they were like, "Well, then play something else." And then we played another song they didn't know. And so I learned, I was like, if I'm ever going to do this again, I'm singing a Miley Cyrus song or something. Because it didn't work. And if I would have played Wagon Wheel 3 years later after it was a #1 for Darius Rucker, look at that.
Excuse me.
That's live TV right
Excuse
there.
me, everybody.
Sneezing right on camera. So that was me pausing you for my goofy experience of when I did not make it on America's Got Talent.
That's crazy though. I can't even imagine. I don't know. I think of America's Got Talent though, and I think like, whew, I don't know. Simon Cowell scares me.
Well, it was weird, and you know the thing about America's Got Talent versus like even American Idol or whatever is, there's people that do everything. So when you're waiting in line, there's tons of different lines. There's lines for people that play brass instruments. There's lines for magicians. There's lines for comedians, and you're all in different lines.
That's crazy.
And we're in the acoustic solo and duo artists line.
Talk about lines though, because it's more than just musicians and singers.
It was everywhere. It was people with animals and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that was sorry. I took the conversation this crazy way. Joel says, "God bless you" to Mary Sarah.
Oh, because I sneezed. I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Well, thank you still. Thank you still. But I was thinking the same thing.
Let's see. Okay, Mary.
We're looking through some of the comments here.
Joel Robinson, Tom Hendricks, thanks for joining.
What up,
Alicia,
Tom?
Thanks for joining.
What up, Alicia?
In Wisconsin, it's freezing. It's kind of cold here for Texas.
What's up, Charlie Morton?
There you go. Are you making a new CD soon? I'm actually releasing a new single. Keep a lookout for it. It's for Valentine's Day. So I can't promise exactly on the 14th, but it's going to be like in and around that time. So, yeah, it's a love song. I'm doing opposite of my last single.
If you're doing it for Valentine's Day, it better be. So what I was going to ask you is...
Could you imagine I did a heartbreak song on Valentine's Day? Like, I want to kill you, on Valentine's Day. I think people would buy it.
People have said a lot worse.
I know, right? Well, I think that people would buy it. Why? Because it's so, the irony is...
Did you know that Valentine's Day sells more pizzas than any other day of the year?
Why pizzas?
You want to know why? All the single people at home... This isn't a joke. I'm really being serious. All the single people at home who are feeling bad for themselves or heartbroken or whatever... They don't want to go out to a restaurant by themselves. They don't feel like cooking. Valentine's Day sells more pizzas than any other day of the year. Number 2 is tomorrow. The Super Bowl.
Oh,
That's the second biggest pizza day. Number 1 is Valentine's Day, and it's not because of romance, it's because of lack of romance. Look at that.
So sad.
Now you know something.
Now you know. Jim Surqua, hey! B95.5 in Albany, New York. We did an interview together.
Look at that.
When I was out at The Voice.
Okay, so last thing, and by the way, this is exactly how these hangouts are supposed to go. Like we're just like, all over the place. But I want to know, like, a lot of us want to be famous or whatever, and I'm serious, and you got to go do the TV thing, and go be on The Voice and be very successful on it. I mean, you were one of those people that went on and did an audition and went home. I mean, you were on for a long time. Yeah. I thought you were going to win. And
thanks.
I'm really serious. And But so now, looking back on the whole thing, is it like that was like the greatest thing ever? Is it like, there was a lot of it that I didn't like. I didn't like the pressure. Just like whatever. Just like if you had to, like when somebody
like
says
a synopsis of like my time there.
Just like how you feel. You know what I mean? Like what?
No, I'm so thankful for it. I really am. And I don't know if it's necessarily because, well, I'm very thankful because it gave me fans that I didn't have before. But I also am very thankful for the, like, now I would say family, but friends that I made through that whole process. I mean, the people that even didn't, like, did audition only, made it to, like, the blind audition or whatever, like, we still all got to know each other, and we've kept in contact, and, and some people, it's just crazy, because, you get to sing these songs, and sometimes you're nervous, and sometimes things happen, and you don't do your best performance, but we know, by hearing, like, behind the scenes, how good someone is, and so when someone's sent home, and we're like, what? How did that just happen? It's usually because it's like nerves or like something that makes it just not as great, and so it's just, a lot of friends made through it, and I'm very thankful for that. They're still, I still work with them. We still do shows together. We still talk. I sang on a friend of mine's, Jared Harder, was on my season. I sang on one of his songs, so we all keep in touch. It's pretty incredible, and it's opened a lot of doors for me. So the first thing I did right off the bat was play the Grand Ole Opry for the first time. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, that was incredible. Isn't that crazy? Thinking back on it, I just got chills.
Country artist. That's like, that's almost like going to the Super Bowl. For a football player, like getting to play the Grand Ole Opry.
Sure.
It's the Mecca.
It's that scary too. I would say scary, but my nerves were like, they were crazy.
I've never been. I want to go sometime. And I have all these great hookups to where like I can get into.
You should go backstage.
Larry Gatlin.
I love Larry.
I love Larry too. Larry's
Larry's
like
fave.
you got to come up and hang out and I know tons. People that are members of the Grand Ole Opry, and it's just like I barely ever go to Nashville, and when I do, I'm usually doing other stuff, and so I haven't been.
It's excuses. Tell them it's excuses.
I know it is. It's
an
excuse.
I'm kidding. No,
I'm like the world's best procrastinator. I'm serious.
Nice to meet you. I'm the second world's best.
I'm really good at procrastinating. So a couple questions that popped in while we were talking about that, and I was hijacking the conversation. Somebody wants you. Somebody from Salamanca. How do you say that?
Salamanca, New York.
Salamanca, New York.
Please come to Jam in the Valley 2018, Erie County Fair, Buffalo, New York for a show. Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. It's very specific. So
that shocks my age about
we're
that.
Definitely going to be able to figure out where that is. So a question that popped up a minute ago was, who's your current favorite artist that you're digging? So not like one of the legends of yesterday, because you're into a lot of the old country stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or do you just act like it?
No, God, no. I don't act like it. I literally have been raised on it. It's been a part of me for all my life. But I do have a lot of respect for all different types of genres. My thing is I show a liking to, I guess, for people who actually are really feeling and emotionally feeling songs.
Right. Gotcha.
Investing in themselves. So I respect that. Like, I can see that they worked hard to like put that out. So sometimes I hear things and I'm like, I feel like they half-assed that.
No, I totally get that.
So I have like John Legend. Like, how can you not love John Legend? Like, the emotion behind his songs, the writing, like everything. It's amazing. So I actually really, really adore right now a girl by the name of Caitlin Smith.
I've heard the
name.
Have
you heard her?
I've heard the name. I don't think I've heard her.
She is an amazing writer. She's written like hit songs for other people. She just released her record, and it's like to die for.
Caitlin with a C or a K?
C. Yeah.
Okay. Did y'all hear that?
Caitlin Smith.
Y'all need to check out Caitlin Smith.
She's so good.
Apparently
and there's
she's
also
great. I'm gonna have to look her up.
There's also this song called "This Town Is Killing Me," and it's about Nashville, Tennessee. And Lord knows I love it. But at the same time, as an artist in Nashville, there are a lot of people doing what you're doing. And there are, you do a lot of performances, you do a lot of shows to try to get attention from, like, record executive. Oh, here we are.
Sorry that it cut out there for a minute.
I don't know where it cut out,
again.
But record executives.
I'm 8 feet from the router, so
doesn't make
weird.
any sense.
Yeah.
That was really weird. But, yeah, this song is about how Nashville is kind of like killed her a little bit because it's taken. There's a part in the verse that talks about she missed her granddad's funeral because she was trying to play a show in like Tupelo.
Oh man.
Yeah, and like just heartfelt things that it's like, whoo! It's so truthful to like us artists. Like I think when we all heard that song, we were like crying because we're like,
oh man,
we give a lot up to dream, and have our dreams and try to fulfill them, and
Oh, I'm looking up Caitlin Smith.
Please do.
For
She's
sure.
So good.
Is she? I don't.
It's called Starfire.
I don't ask women their age, but is she like 20 or like 50 or like?
She is. I honestly think she might be in her later 20s.
Okay.
Or early 20s. I don't know.
I just wondered if this is a woman that's been doing this for 40 years, or you know what I mean, like.
No. She's pretty young.
Like who's that really great writer that wrote tons of stuff with Taylor Swift?
Liz Rose.
Yeah, like Liz Rose.
Mm-hmm.
She's not in her 20s anymore. She's amazing.
Not anymore.
Absolutely amazing.
She's not a publishing house, right? On Music Row, so you see it Liz Rose Music.
I wrote a song with Liz Rose.
It's really.
But I've never met Liz Rose.
What?
I know, isn't that weird?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, okay, but I have a co-write with her, and it's not
How'd that happen?
it's not famous yet. Well, she started. Do you know who Corey Morrow is?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Texas country.
I know
stuff.
Corey Morrow. Yeah.
Okay. So Corey, he and I started writing together, and we became really good friends. And he's one of my best friends in the world today.
Yeah.
And Corey started a song with Liz. They got it part way. He and I got together to write, and he said, "Will you help me finish the song that I started with Liz Rose?" And I was like, "Holy crap! I'm writing a song with Liz Rose here." Although she wasn't there, she doesn't know who I am.
You were adding on to it, so you're a third writer.
But
okay,
I'm the third writer. And,
look at you sneaking in there.
Look at that! Look at that!
That's pretty cool. Have you ever met Sunny Sweeney? No, I've never met Sunny Sweeney. Wait, I should never say never, but
I've met Sunny Sweeney twice.
I've never met her, but I love her song "Table Away."
She was here.
I got a lot of views on YouTube on that.
She was here in December.
Was she really?
Yeah, she and three other female artists do a show in December here, like just a few days before Christmas, that they call a Hard Candy Christmas, and it's four really fantastic, talented singer-songwriters, and they sit on stage and do a 4-person in the round. They sing along with each other on some. So yes, I've met Sunny twice. I know you weren't asking me, but I'm the not famous.
No, but he's
one.
in here too. So.
I'm the not famous one. Didn't you sing with Lawson Bates on Bringing Up the Bates?
No.
I didn't either.
I thought that question was for you.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what Bringing Up the Bates is.
I have no clue either. Is this about?
Sorry, Debbie.
Are we supposed to know this?
Sorry, Debbie. I don't know what that is.
Sorry.
I apologize.
Look at us. I feel like we're like old people. We're like.
Have we
we
missed any?
Eagles or Patriots?
Are you talking about who's gonna win or who we want to win?
Yeah.
Okay, you first. I don't even know if you like football.
Oh, I do. I will be watching tomorrow. I am the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't like the Patriots.
But do you think they're gonna win?
Yeah. No, I think they will. I really do.
I hope you're right. I absolutely despise the Patriots. Tom Brady.
You too?
Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in the history of football. I do not like him.
No, neither
But
do
he's fantastic.
I know.
And I don't want him to win again. So I am all Eagles tomorrow, rooting for Nick Foles.
My friend Lexi, and so obviously I'm a Texans fan. So, but since they're not in the Super Bowl,
Right, I'm a huge Texans fan.
Yeah, my friend Lexi she's been a diehard Eagles fan for years, and I never understood why. I don't even know where she got it from, but she's been so dedicated, like even when they've been so bad, that I'm like, I have to help you by giving you my support. But also, I don't like the Patriots.
I hate
so
them.
it worked out really well.
I hate them. I
really
hope they
don't.
never win another game.
I really don't. I think they really need to kind of like have it shown to them that they're not all that.
Well, since you're a Texans fan, I am really, really looking forward to Deshaun Watson coming back next year. That was absolutely devastating to be I mean, I've been a giant Texans fan since day one.
Yeah.
You were probably like 8 when they started, and I've been a huge fan, and we've just had quarterback struggles almost the whole way through.
Oh no, I know that.
And then to have the guy that you finally go, oh my gosh,
We're gonna do
have
something. We're
an
gonna,
amazing quarterback, and then 5 games in to
Yeah.
tear his ACL, and it was
It's
just
crazy.
like the whole season just went.
I'm like, that's life. Life is
It
like
is
that,
like
you
that.
know? But we've been through tough times with the Texans, and I think this is just a little thing now that, yeah.
I just hope he comes back healthy. If he comes back healthy,
I hope so.
cannot
That
wait
and
for next
JJ
year.
Watt. I'm like,
Oh, yes, we need JJ Watt
Well,
back too,
I want
and
him-
Whitney
I want him
Merciless.
back.
Whitney Merciless back too.
hang on, I want JJ Watt back, but I want him back, like, extremely healthy, because I feel like the last time he came back way too quick.
Came back too early.
Didn't let everything heal. Hear me out, JJ Watt, if you're watching this. Let it heal. Because we need you.
If JJ Watt is watching this,
Yeah, right.
that would
What
be...
kind of Saturday night are you having, JJ Watt?
Yeah, look, man, hit me up. You can call me at Main Street Crossing. I'd love to go hang out sometime, and we can eat like 800 calories or
You know, I met
8,000
him, right,
calories
though?
of cod.
I met him.
You met JJ
I
Watt?
did. He's massive, and I'm like this big.
How'd you meet him?
I actually coached the team.
We coached the Houston Texans?
Yeah, they were. It was their. It wasn't like one of the games. It was one of the ones that like everybody can kind of go
Well,
and watch.
I know you weren't actually coaching a Sunday game.
Listen. I mean,
Like Bill O'Brien took the Sunday off, and they had
listen.
country music singer Mary Sarah.
Hey,
I'm
don't
su-
doubt me.
I'm sure
Don't
you know a
doubt
lot
me.
about football.
Okay, well, I was doing it was just a practice thing that they were doing, and so I was at a charity event the week prior, and like won this Texans thing.
No way.
Yeah, and so I was out there on the field, and like I swear several people were like, "Watch out, or you'll get hit," and like I was like this close to getting hit like 10 times, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the biggest rush of my life!" Like having those massive players, like linebackers, like rushing at you. You're just like, holy crap, what's happening? Well, they were doing a defensive drill, and I had to. One of the guys who was just there was like, "Hey, I want you to go in there and stop the drill." And I was like, "You want me to stand in the middle of these defensive players and just be like, stop? What do you want me to do? I don't have a whistle. I don't have anything." Like, and so literally,
What'd you do?
I was like, and I just like jumped in the middle, and I was like, "Stop!" Like I yelled super loud because I was like, they're gonna hit me if they don't hear me. Like, and so I just yelled really loud.
Did they stop?
They all stopped, and JJ Watt came over and was like, and like high-fived me, like almost like, "Good job stopping this defensive play here." And I was like, "Oh, thanks."
That's like the coolest thing ever.
Isn't it cool? You should. I have a picture. I have to show you the picture. He's like this big, and I'm like this big.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
And he's a, gosh, talk about a hard worker, man. I wish I, a lot of times, had the work ethic that dude does. I mean, it's crazy.
Where's my discipline at? He really does.
So, I told you when we're hanging out doing this, we can talk about anything, and we started talking about football, and I saw that you have like a guitar pick that says it's a sticker that says World Series. Are you an Astros fan too?
Oh, for sure. It was one of like the first big national anthems I ever sang. It's here in Houston for the Astros.
Was it really?
Yeah. And it was the first time that I realized I needed to drop my last name. Because they were like, "Okay, and now for the national anthem," and they were like, "Mary Sarah," and my last name is Gross, like really gross. And so they were like, "Mary Sarah, gross." All I heard was the freaking echo of gross in the stadium, and I was like,
You were like, from now on,
I will be known as Mary Sarah. Yes.
What up, Keith?
Hi, Keith. Thanks for watching. So, yeah.
Oh, that would be terrifying, I think.
Isn't that terrifying?
National anthem's not very easy to sing. Now, maybe I
used to be very, like, nervous about it, but honestly, I told the vocal coach once that I was, like, super nervous about it, and she was like, "Have you ever just thought of it, like, being a song instead of this song that, like, the world is made to, like, be the song everyone messes up?" You know, because then I was, especially when a lot of the celebrities were, like, doing it, and they were, like, writing it on their hands, like, shout out to Luke Bryan, like, writing it on his hand, like, and a lot of people just, like, using these cheat things or messing it up, and I did not want to be that person, because, like, I feel like the national anthem for me is my way of paying respect to those who are fighting, and using my talents to show respect. You know what I mean?
Love it.
And so there was a point where I did get super nervous about it. And so I told her, I was like, I'm just like really nervous about this. Like, I don't know if there's any tricks you can tell me or whatever. And she goes, why don't you just think about it as an actual song? Because this is a song that was written about our patriotism, and go back in the history of the song and learn the history on it. And once I did that, it was like, I get it. And so now when I sing it, I'm singing a song. Like I'm going through the storyline of the way it was written, and it's now a song that I absolutely adore. So I don't get nervous anymore.
So you and you're totally comfortable with the whole vocal range you have to use to sing it.
Somehow. No,
it's one of those.
It's one of those where it's like really low and really.
And yeah,
really
it's
high.
like
Yeah.
it's like I have to sing.
I have one of those songs tonight.
Yeah, for me to hit the high notes, the low end is in a place that's pretty uncomfortable for me. Like I can do it, but I don't like my voice there, and it's a struggle. Or if I want the lower notes to be where I want them, then those high notes are. And I don't really want to go into falsetto. It just doesn't.
Unless you like work on that falsetto, sometimes it's like super hard. I'm like, whoo! It scares me. I have a song like that tonight. That's like really high and really low.
Well, also when
it makes me want to go to falsetto.
When a female goes into falsetto, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't. It's not as it's just not the same as like when Adam Levine goes into falsetto. You know what I mean, or whatever. Like all of a sudden, it's like you really really hear it. I mean, there's a lot of people out there probably watching right now that don't even know what falsetto is, and when you move from your chest voice to your head voice, and
then the like super head.
So I want to do the national anthem sometime somewhere, but I've never done it.
You should work on it. It's never easy in the beginning, for sure. Yeah. I had a vocal coach teach me all the way through it. Do the vocal warm-ups to get there.
I'm not going to start with the Astros. I'm going to start a little bit lower than that.
That's all right.
So
I think it'll be good. I definitely didn't start. I mean, as far as big national anthems, that was the first one. But as far as national anthems, I had sung at Little League games.
I'm doing Sugarland Skeeters first.
Yay! Love it. I love going to their games. So fun.
It's the funnest thing ever.
Right?
Will you see what time it is on your phone? Because if you guys
oh my gosh, we have 4 minutes.
Okay, it's time. So if you guys didn't know, the reason we're
get ready.
We're hanging out here. Mary Sarah's playing at Main Street Crossing tonight here in Tomball. Really cool music venue. One of our favorite artists here, and this has just been us hanging out. And by the way, we're hanging out in the little restaurant office. If you don't know, most restaurants or music venues, they don't want to waste a lot of retail space on the office, so you live in these little cubbies with all this stuff on the wall. And it was too cold to do this outside. The bars behind us were too busy. We had an opening act, so the green room would have been too loud, etc., etc. So we've been hanging out. We've been hanging out in the office. So is there anything you want to tell everybody before we sign off here?
Well, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed our random conversation, but awesome conversations.
When are you gonna come back? In about a year?
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully I'll be back. So
because we could do this again.
We could do this again. We can update.
Because we can
host stuff.
You know how much stuff I want to talk about that we
didn't even hit.
We're just totally out of time. I didn't know we were going to talk about J.J. Watt and
It happens. It happens.
Well, I can never get tired of talking about that. So we're
get my new single coming out for
the Heartbreak.
Valentine's Day. It's called "Just Go With It."
And it's going to be a love song, a happy love song.
Happy love song.
Okay, I'm Matt Davis. This is Mary Sarah. We are out.